It's really nice, and I'm sorry that some of you have to sit on the floor, but it's a nice feeling to see this place so full, that too with young people. So a very, very warm welcome to all of you. I know that as students, nobody likes to sit in the first few rows. There is not going to be any cold calling today, so you're welcome to come here and sit here in the first row if you'd feel like. So today, let me welcome the Honorable Minister for IT and Panchayat Raj. And this is something I've always found fascinating as to why he handles both those. But I think there is a reason. Sorry. Because I think he is looking at merging the two and really making use of that, and that's something I'll come to in a minute. So my good friend Ram Rao, KTR as is well known as, welcome again to ISB. Mittal Saab, always an honor and a pleasure to have you. You have done a lot for entrepreneurship and for development of technology in this country, and we really appreciate your being here with us. But my main talk is going to be with all of you and your faculty. Now, this is a program for you. So I'm delighted that so many of you are really interested in this. And I'm hoping that over the years, many of you will come here as budding entrepreneurs first, successful entrepreneurs next, and then to this stage as future speakers, right? So a very, very warm, happy welcome to you and to your faculty, who are doing selfless work with all of you to help you succeed, right? This is an interesting program. You have already seen a small part of this through the design workshops, right? Each one of you has gone through that design workshop. I hope you are excited enough, and you will feel passionate enough. I want to thank my own colleagues. Professor Sumit Kunumkal is here, and some of the others who have again done selfless work to make this happen. This is something that we are passionate about. This is something that we must see succeed. And while you learn a whole lot of those things, I want to today just focus on a few things. I think there are 2 or 3 things which matter to an entrepreneur, which I don't know whether we'll be ever able to teach you. The first thing is, you don't become an entrepreneur to make money. You become an entrepreneur because you've got some burning idea in your heart that you really want to see it out there and see others succeed. You'll see a lot of my alumni who are entrepreneurs here, and I hope you'll get a chance to speak to them sometime during the day, that they did not set out to make money. The fact that they made money is incidental, and the fact that you must make money is important. But you do not start an entrepreneurial venture to make money. You start it because you have some very strong desire in you that cannot keep quiet till you give it life. And I hope, and this is where I link it to what Ram and his portfolio, I hope that whatever you do, you also link it for the greater good of the society. So that's number 1, that do it because it's a good cause. Second thing is, nobody becomes successful by getting up late, taking an easy time, spending a few hours dabbling with it, having multiple other interests. Entrepreneurs especially are highly focused. If you have to win, you have to. How many of you remember the old Mahabharat story of Arjun and right? Many of you do. That is the kind of focus. The reason Arjun became a great warrior was because of his single-minded focus. He could only see the eye of the bird. He could not see anything else. And what you are going to require is that absolute determination and focus to succeed. And the third thing in an entrepreneurship is there is no such thing as failure. There are setbacks. Be comfortable with the fact that there are setbacks. When we started this institution in 2001, we had a major setback because 9/11 happened. It was a huge setback. And we overcame it. Then 2009 financial meltdown was another big setback. And that was just around the time that we were expanding. So it was a double setback. And we have brilliantly overcome it. Setbacks are a part of life. Accept them, be ready to face them, learn from them, but move on. Don't give up. Right? There are many other things we do. I'm not going to bore you with them, but at a later stage, I hope you will make use of what this institution has to offer. I hope that you will be actively associated with this school and everything it does for entrepreneurs. Good luck. God bless you. One last thing before I shut down. I hope that you will also use this opportunity to get to know the whatever close to 700 of, right? And some of you unfortunately could not even be accommodated here or in other rooms. Get to know each other. Don't stick to your group. Don't stick just to your friends. A good entrepreneur is also a great networker. And when you meet people, doesn't matter which part of this country they are from. Remember, we are all Indians. Remember, we are all the same. We breathe the same air. We eat the same food. We talk most times the same language. So make a lot of friends and hope that that will help you in the future. Good luck.
Thanks, Ajit. And talking about networking, Ajit mentioned something that you're all part of the design workshop, right? How many want to call out some names of the people who ran these workshops? Process, and we were just cruising on. But you type, and then you tear it apart, right? A lot of devil's advocate is being played by of inviting our Minister for IT.
A very good morning to all of you. Firstly, my apologies actually for turning up late. I was scheduled to be here by 11:30, but ran late. I had another meeting to attend, and sorry about that. Honorable Dean ISB, Shri Ajit Rangnekar, Mr. H.K. Mittal, the Member Secretary of National Science and Technology Entrepreneurship Board, the management, faculty from 10 different colleges in Telangana and 5 different colleges in Andhra Pradesh as well, and the ISB team and the JKC team for conceiving this wonderful partnership program, the TEP, and other eminent guests here, my IT secretary included, and a lot of ISB alums and my friends from the media. Firstly, I'd like to congratulate all of you all, especially all the students who have taken this initiative to come here to actually be part of this wonderful initiative called TEP. Congratulate one and all. I'm immensely proud that you're all here. You represent about 10 best colleges in Telangana and 5 best colleges in Andhra Pradesh. And even among the pool that there is in all these colleges, I think you represent the best of those colleges. So wonderful, wonderful, and we are all proud of you and proud of the fact that you are part of this program as well. Well, as you all know, it's been a great day in Hyderabad today. Hyderabad is a city that's known for its wonderful climate, and 300 days in a year, I think Hyderabad can boast of this wonderful climate, which hardly any other city in this country or world can talk of. So, all the budding entrepreneurs, I request you all, I appeal to all of you. Besides weather, there are a lot of other things happening in Hyderabad as well. Besides weather, there are a lot of other very, very good things in Hyderabad. So, not only to those students from Telangana, but also to those students from Andhra Pradesh. Now, once you finish up this program, the Technology Entrepreneurship Program, I'm sure you're all going to start off your ventures, and I'm sure you'll not make the mistake of launching them elsewhere but in Hyderabad. So, I hope that all of you all, launch your initiatives and the next big thing that is likely to happen, next big Facebook or Snapdeal or Redbus or whatever it is that you're launching. I hope it happens from Hyderabad. And along with the TEP program, I'm also happy to let you know that we, as part of the government of Telangana, are trying to create an ideal investment climate for businesses globally, and we are actually formulating an excellent policy for the IT industry and other industries as well. This August, last week of August, in fact, 30th and 31st, we are also celebrating India's largest startup festival right here in Hyderabad in partnership with ISB, IIIT, HICIA, TIE, and Telangana IIC. Art and entrepreneurship as the themes, and we are expecting 1,500 plus entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs, filmmakers, musicians, fashion designers, photographers, and other creative professionals from across the country. So I appeal to all of you all also to participate, also to get involved in this program, which is being hosted by the Indian School of Business in this very campus. And we are also celebrating, while we are also celebrating the art and entrepreneurship at August Festival, more importantly, this is actually a lead up, a precursor to what we are also calling, what we're also in the process of building actually, called T-Hub. In fact, we are planning to build the country's biggest technology/business incubator with the help and collaboration of IIIT as a technology mentor, and with ISB as the business mentor, and with Nalsar also participating as the legal/IP mentor. And this August Startup Fest that we are looking at right now is a precursor, is a curtain raiser, and to this big event that we would be having by the end of this year. The first phase of this incubator called the T-Hub will be launched by the end of the year, and we are looking at a facility, we've narrowed down to a facility on the IIIT Hyderabad campus with about 80,000 square foot of space. We're going to launch it there, and in fact, we have a specific request for Mithil Saab as well. I'll talk to him offline on this. But we're trying to work closely with Government of India and Government of Telangana will be promoting it, and we are hoping to have more than 1,000 people to begin with at the first phase of T-Hub, and eventually we want to move out to a bigger space in about 2 years' time from now, which would be about 300,000 square foot, which would have about 3,000 plus people working and about 1,000 plus companies being incubated. So it's a great initiative, and it's in fact probably the biggest incubator in the entire country, and probably the biggest and most ambitious initiative by any government in the country today. With regards to our IT ecosystem here, about 65% of the growth comes from the existing players today, and the remaining 35%, which is very significant in this competitive world, comes from the new entities. So therefore, we would like to give a thrust to both areas. We want every investor in Hyderabad to feel warm and cozy, and at the same time, we also want to create an environment where entrepreneurship is fostered with all the right inputs. Well, as soon as I in fact assumed office, this was about 50 days ago, started asking a lot of questions, and in fact, I think the very second day, I dropped into my good friend Ajit's office, and we barged in without much of an approval, really. I think we just merely called, and Ajit was kind enough to let us in. So we merely barged in and bombarded him with a lot of questions, a lot of inputs. That's where we actually started building on this whole concept called T-Hub. In fact, the other thing we are working on, because a lot of people have told us in the past that Hyderabad actually lacks readily employable graduates, meaning industry-ready graduates who are ready to be competitive globally right at the time of graduation. The one reason that I can think of, obviously, for this is the fact that the course curriculum is designed in such a way that it focuses excessively on theory and very little bit on practical knowledge, or very little bit on the apprenticeship program that is typically taken up. So therefore, we've launched another initiative also called TASK, T-A-S-K, the Telangana Academy of Skill and Knowledge. And what we're planning here is, we are trying to build a consortium of the industry, and we are also trying to build a consortium of the academia, all the professional colleges and the management colleges that this great city of Hyderabad boasts of. What we're essentially trying to do is now, with the new Companies Act 2013, clause 135, which is stipulated, which is mandated corporate social responsibility on the industry. Now we are trying to bring in that corporate social responsibility angle into skill building, and skill building is something that the Government of India is also focused on. In fact, the Prime Minister is giving it a lot of importance. He's talking about a skill mission across the country, and a huge amount of funds have been allocated for that as well. So we're trying to dovetail our program into that, and this whole concept of TASK is that we will ensure that each and every industry player will, as part of their corporate social responsibility, reach out to the graduates or to-be graduates, ensure that they actually are completely industry ready by the time they graduate. There could be a tie-up with both the National Skill Development Center and the National Digital Literacy Mission as well. We want to imbibe as many ingredients as possible and create a system which ensures that every single graduate by the time of graduation is industry ready, both in both senses, not in the sense of just being a job seeker, but also in the sense of being a job creator by virtue of a program such as this, an entrepreneurship program. So these are the two important things I've been working on. And the other thing that I would obviously want to reflect on here is the fact that we have somebody as eminent as Mr. H.K. Mittal here. We are privileged to have him here because, as we all know, he's a member of Secretary of National Science and Technology Entrepreneurship Board. And his mission, obviously, is to convert job seekers into job generators through science and technology interventions. And that is exactly what we are out to do as well through TASK as well as T-Hub. In my 2 months of tenure as an IT minister, I must have received about 1,000 resumes from a lot of graduates who've just walked into my office, given me a resume and said, why don't you go get me a job? See, eventually what we all have to realize is that's not what government is here for. We are here to facilitate an environment. We are here to create an environment which is conducive for both job seekers and also for entrepreneurs. I need young enterprising brains such as you to balance the supply side of things, and I obviously would like to request Mittal Sab through this podium. We need your help, guidance, and please partner with us in carving out more and more job creators and not just job seekers. And obviously the Indian School of Business, crown jewel of Hyderabad. We take a lot of pride about this institution. It's a wonderful institution which has really fostered a wonderful environment. In fact, I was just telling Ajit that each and every time I walk in here, I simply am happy for, I don't know, there isn't any specific reason, but I'm just happy being here. It's a wonderful facility, and I'm really going to be envious of all of you because you're privileged to spend some quality time here working on this wonderful program. And ISB, as I said, some places when you visit, they just pervade your soul. It's one of those places. And here you have about 500 odd students here who are getting into this TEP program to come out as high energy business professionals. And I'm sure all of you all really will do a wonderful job, all the faculty here. And I'm quite confident that after this program, we'll have more and more entrepreneurs setting up shop in Hyderabad as well. The TEP program currently, I'm told, is running in about 10 engineering colleges in Telangana. And I'm sure ISB must have thoroughly thought through their brand, what it means to them, and in the long run as well, this whole concept. But Ajit Rangnekar and the ISB team have taken a decision to go ahead with this program, and I truly thank them for it because this is something that we are very excited about. In fact, one of the things that a lot of people told me, as you all know, Hyderabad is the number 2 city as far as IT exports go. A lot of people told me this. The Hyderabad does not have the ecosystem, the technology / business ecosystem to create more entrepreneurs. Hyderabad, for some reason, has not been able to do that so far. So I'm glad that Ajit has started this initiative. This is a great way to spread the intellectual capital you have to the society, and I'm extremely pleased to say that with this social responsibility that Ajit and ISB have shouldered, we are likely to actually enhance that reputation. And I'm also, on a side note, I'm also extremely appreciative of Ajit for thinking of the name TEP, because it has the T angle to it, the Telangana angle to it. I guarantee it's not what it is, but nevertheless. So, all in all, a wonderful start to this program. And just as a quick addition, from the government standpoint, I promise you that every enterprising idea coming into Hyderabad, be it from any part of India or any part of the world, we will ensure that it goes from the ideation stage to the product stage. That is a guarantee that is a commitment of this government, and we will ensure that every single good idea is nurtured, is taken care of, and from ideation to a product stage. We want the next big thing to come out of Hyderabad. We want the next Facebook, Snapdeal, Twitter, WhatsApp, all the other things that you guys use, which I don't really know. We want one of those to come out of Hyderabad very soon. And we are creating a single window, as you all know, our Chief Minister has been talking about it. We are creating a wonderful industrial policy which is likely to be the best in the country, because we are inviting inputs from all industry bodies. We've in fact had our Chief Minister in fact had a marathon session of about 5 hours where he's invited people from about 50 different organizations, and we've tried to build on their inputs, and we're trying to come out with an industrial policy. And as far as IT policy goes, we're also likely to come up with a better IT policy. What we have is pretty good, but we also have to build on that, and in fact have entrepreneurship as one of the big ingredients as well. And before I came in, to sum it up, before I came in here, I saw it in the newspapers that today was the Kargil Victory Day. July 26th was the day India won the Kargil War. The Kargil warriors have protected our country. They've made us all proud. In fact, they've made us all secure. They're our national heroes. And all of you, the potential entrepreneurs sitting here as part of this program, you're fighting the internal enemy, the enemy within this country, which is poverty, because we all know India is a country full of contradictions. On the one hand, we probably have the richest entrepreneurs in the form of our Ambani brothers, whose combined net worth today is probably the largest across the world. And on the other hand, we have the highest number of impoverished, malnourished children as well. So it's a country full of contradictions, and there's still a lot of internal issues as well that need to be fought out. And one of the biggest internal issue that we are all fighting as governments and as individuals and entrepreneurs is poverty. And I'm proud of you all, because you are now setting out on a journey to fight the internal poverty of this country and its unemployment. The country needs more of you, and few years down the road, I'd like to see you be part of the Hyderabadi ecosystem, generating thousands of jobs and making us all proud. Thank you very much, and I appreciate Ajit for launching this wonderful program once again. Thank you.
Honorable Minister Shri K.T. Ramarao, Dean of ISP Shri Ajit Rangnekar, members of the faculty, students, ladies and gentlemen. Let me first of all admit that I am floored by the minister. His suaveness. You normally don't meet politicians like this. You meet politicians of a different nature, but today it was an enlightening experience for me. Of course, Dean Ajit Rangnekar has been a great supporter of the cause of entrepreneurship, and in that light, we have a great long-standing friendship and admire his commitment to the cause. And this is a unique program. I missed the board meeting in the morning, but I'm sure that during the day we'll make up for it. Well, I see a lot of youngsters here, and when you see youngsters, you are reminded of your own old days. I'm talking about almost prehistoric times. I already feel like something extinct. My creed is almost extinct. I was a student like you about 30 years back in IIM Ahmedabad, and I also wanted to be an entrepreneur. Well, with a surname like Mittal, what else I could have thought of? So I wanted to be an entrepreneur myself. So my business plan was ready. I was even allocated an industrial shed, and I was about to go and start. Then one of my professors in IMA, Professor Gupta, he said, Mittal, you are going to start on your own. So this institute is organizing this seminar, how to start an enterprise. Why don't you go and attend this seminar, an event like this? So well, as a very obedient student, I went and participated in that seminar. I still remember there was one speaker there, Dr. Rawal. He seemed to know everything about small scale industry, and I was very impressed with his speech. Well, friends, that was the end of my entrepreneurial dreams, because I decided to join that institute, Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, to gain knowledge like him, become like Dr. Rawal. 30 years I have been preaching entrepreneurship, but I have never become an entrepreneur. Well, the message I want to give you is, knowledge is important, but action is more important. That's the message I want to give you. If you are thinking of doing something, the day is today, right now. Please go ahead and start doing something. If you keep thinking for too long, it will never happen. That's the first message I want to give you. Well, I'll keep narrating quite a few stories, not about me. That's the last story about me. I'll keep narrating stories. Albert Einstein, all of you know Albert Einstein. He was a teacher. he was a great scientist, but he was also a teacher. So he set the question paper for his class and gave it to his typist. Those days there were no computers, so he gave it to his typist for typing. So the typist went and he saw that this year's paper is exactly similar to last year's paper. So he went running back to Einstein, saying that, sir, what have you done? This is the same paper which was given, and students have a habit of looking at last year's paper and they will immediately come to know. He said, don't worry, go and type it. This year I have changed the answers. Well, the problems are the same. The problems are poverty, problems are hunger, the problems are illiteracy, but we need to find new solutions. The questions are the same. The solutions will have to change. Do we have a new solution? Yes, let's try it. Let's try it. Let me digress a bit. We all have seen Olympics. In the Olympics, how is India's performance? One odd medal here and there, nothing great, nothing to write home about. But there's the Olympics of a different kind, the International Science Olympiad. For 20 years, my department sends about 20 students every year to participate in this Olympiad. Science, we have maths, physics, chemistry. Trust me, in the last 20 years, none of the students have come back without a medal. Now, what happens? We do not have a Google coming out of our system. We do not have a BlackBerry. We do not have Apple or so many other companies. What is the reason? There are statistics which say on the internet, if you say 40% of Google employees are Indians, 30% of NASA employees are Indians, several statistics like that. What happens? Why are we not able to create companies? What is missing? We are great knowledge workers. We are not great knowledge entrepreneurs. We are good as a worker, but we are not good as an entrepreneur. Plus, there are many other issues: the ecosystem, the support system, the environment, that has to get built up. I am tempted to share with you a story of a graduate from this college ISB, Subramani. I think, how many of you know Subramani here in the crowd? Few of you know. Let me tell you a story about Subramani. Subramani came to us. We were running a grand challenge with Intel as our partner. Subramani came to us. He made artificial flowers. He made artificial flowers which felt and smelt like real flowers. When you touch that flower, it will give you that watery feeling because it was coated. The paper was coated with a hygroscopic enzyme. So when you touch that paper, it will give you that wet feeling, which like a real flower. Using a nanotech spray or a nano-based spray, the fragrance would last about 2 to 3 years. So now you have natural-looking flowers, which are. So that was his first product. So he won our Indian competition. We sent him to Silicon Valley for the final global competition. When he landed there, he was carrying a bunch of flowers like this to show it to the jury next day. So when he landed, the Quarter 9 department said, "Hey young man, where are you going?" So he said, "Well, I have this letter, invitation." No, we are talking about these flowers. You can't carry any organic material inside US. So he said, "But these are artificial flowers made out of paper." I said, come on, man, they are looking like real flowers. They are smelling like real flowers. Whom are you trying to fool? You come aside. He was taken aside. So for 4 hours, this fellow was held there. They called a botanist who did the dissection, gave him a certificate saying that these are artificial flowers. Then everybody posed for a photograph there with all those flowers, and so he was let go. In the evening, he went to a florist to pick up a similar looking flower so that he could confuse the jury the next day. So he wanted a real flower. 10 minutes, 15 minutes. The fellow couldn't pick up a flower. The florist got irritated. Come on, man, pick up a flower. Leave. He said, no, this is an artificial flower. I want a similar flower. So the florist was more experienced. He could make out that it is an artificial flower. He said, how many of these are you carrying? He said, right now I have about 30, 40 of these. No, I want to order 10,000 flowers. What is the price? His cost of manufacture was about $2. He said $10 a piece. He said, I'm giving you $10 order right now, 10,000. He said, you write that order and give me the check. Next day was the business plan competition. Subramani presented just 4 slides. Just 4 slides. The first one was the certificate from the Quaternine that these are artificial flowers. Second was that photograph which they had taken with them. The third one was the order which he had received, and the fourth one was copy of that check. These were the 4 slides he presented, and needless to say, he was a global winner in that competition. The story doesn't end here. The story, in fact, starts from here. These flowers were made in a remote village in Bihar across the river Ganges, where fisherwomen would cut and stitch nets, fishing nets. They had nimble fingers. Their income levels went up by 300 rupees per day by doing these flowers. A connect between where the income rises, where the income is raised, and to where it is distributed. A direct connect. He graduated, I think he is a 2004 alumnus. And if you go to the library here, I once went to the ISB library. There are plaques which are there in his honor, which are his awards which are kept there. Well, youngsters can do multiple things. I am glad that the government of Telangana has really decided to establish a huge facility for startups here. It's a remarkable decision, sir. I must tell you, you are moving as a government. I will share with you an experience of a young entrepreneur. His name is Sanjay Vijay Kumar. Some of you might have heard about Startup Village. Startup Village is in Cochin. One day, Sanjay, he was about 23, 24 years of age. I knew him earlier because he was incubated in one of our incubators. He comes to my office, opens the door, and the first thing he says is, Mr. Mittal, you don't know how to promote entrepreneurs. So I thought that's the only thing I know of. And this fellow, youngsters, comes and tells me, Mr. Mittal, so he must have realized that shocked look on my face. So, what I mean is that you don't know how youngsters think. So that the underlying statement is you have gone too old, which I accept. So I said, Sanjay, come on, what is it that you want? Would you like to promote an incubator with me? I said something has gone into his head. So just to discourage him, I said, Sanjay, you will have to raise 50% of the amount. We will give you other 50%. So I thought he will never get his 50% and my 50% also would be saved. A week later, he comes. Mr. Mittal, my 50% is done. Where is your 50%? I said, hold on, Sanjay, government doesn't work that fast. So ultimately, we started that startup village. Today, he has Chris Gopalakrishnan as the chief mentor. Who's who of the industry is involved with this. They have a program of 1,000 startups in 3 years. He's already done 285. That was the last count because these numbers keep on changing. When I code 285, I am sure this would have been 300 plus by now. So the power of youth, the power of, he's not only, he's got investments of I think about 30 to 40 crores he must have raised himself as in his own enterprise, but he's carrying along 300 other entrepreneurs with him. That's the power of entrepreneurship. Well, sir, you will have to tell me. Okay. My stories are never-ending stories, sir. Okay. I hate making this statement because I belong to the Department of Science and Technology. But let me make this still. Technology is a highly overrated virtue. In any enterprise, it is only 5% of the game. 95% of the game is your business model, is your marketing, is your management of finance. Technology is only 5% of the game. If you have got your business model right, the chances of success are very high. Most of us in the technology domain, especially the technologists, the scientists, the innovators, they are in love with the idea. They keep working on that idea till it is dead. They will never go to the market. Or if they go to the market, they will not worry about other domains of the business. Let me give you a small incident which happened right here in the city of Hyderabad. This is a company about 700 crores turnover it had reached. I will not name the company, not tell you the name of the business because it's very easy to guess. It is a very exclusive business. The managing director of the company is a bundle of energy, bundle of joy when it comes to technical presentation. Sir, ye karunga, wo karunga. He's jumping with joy. When it comes to the financial presentation, he lets his general manager finance make the presentation and he doesn't even sit in the same room. So you can imagine the kind of apathy the technology entrepreneurs have about management, about finance. But I would advise you to go forward. Let me give you another story about a simple technology, very simple technology, but how it impacted. This fellow was inside our incubator, V.S. Man, a young Sardarji in Noida. He was in a very simple space, RFID technologies, which is very common, very simple. He went to a builder in Noida, Shipra Sun City. There are about 15,000 houses and the cars were getting stolen. So he said, I can fix a solution, RFID based solution. There are 8 gates of the colony. We'll fix car readers there. On the car we'll have a RFID tag. On the keychain we'll have a RFID tag and we'll solve this. So the builder asked him, how much would you charge? There were about 20,000 cars in that locality. So he said 500 rupees per car per month. So a neat, clean business of 1 crore of rupees for a startup who is starting today. So the man is jumping with joy. Boss, ho gayi, zindagi ban gayi. So he went back. There were 6 resident welfare associations in that complex. The people who had lost the elections made sure that nobody registers for this automated system. Only 3,000 people registered out of 20,000 cars. 3,000 were registered. With the result, only 4 gates out of 8 were fitted with the automated system. And this fellow is virtually in tears. And what would happen is that people who do not have the automated system would come to the automated gate and start shouting at the gatekeeper. Kholta kyun nahi hai? Janta nahi main kaun hu? In Delhi we have this culture. Janta nahi main kaun hu? So the fight started. So he was in tears. So they did some thinking, great thinking, and they employed deaf and dumb people as gatekeepers. Deaf and dumb people as gatekeepers. So now the car fellow will come, and this fellow at the gate would only fold his hands and would say, go to gate number 4. So this fellow is still angry. Kholta kyun nahi hai? Oh, that. So somebody would go and then tap at his shoulder and would tell him that, see, this fellow can't hear, he can't speak, why are you shouting at this fellow? So this fellow is internally hurt. But overly he says, kaise logon ko naukri pe rakh lete hain? That's what kind of people do they employ? But then he goes to the other gate. 31st of December 2008, Maan threw a party for all these deaf and dumb employees, about 30 of them, and their families. The local media covered it well. Next morning, he made photocopies of the cuttings of those and put it in each of the house. February 2009, Maan had 18,000 vehicles registered for the automated system. Then he developed this into a focused advertisement category. Now, when you drive towards the gate, he knows your demographic profile, your data. It says, Mr. Mittal, your car insurance expires in 15 days. The message is on the TV screen. You pick up a pamphlet and with a check you deposit it there. In the evening when I go with my family, depending upon my budget, it will say holiday package. In my case it will say Haridwar, but if you go, maybe they say holiday package in Switzerland. So this is, depending upon the budget, very focused advertisement where the holiday package is being offered to you. So this category was picked up by in the Cannes Film Festival. He got an invitation to project himself there. Did a number of other things. Maan became the biggest employer of deaf and dumb people at one point of time. Well, I can go on with the stories, but let me last one. I had a chance to meet the promoter of Angry Birds. How many of you know Angry Birds? Okay, so then, so I had a chance to meet the promoter of Angry Birds. We were at Global Entrepreneurship Congress at Moscow. So when I met him, he shared a beautiful experience. He said every Christmas I would go home for holiday, and I will tell my mother that this is the new game which we have developed, and give my iPad to her. She will see that game, and next day morning she would pat at my shoulder, as any mother would do, very well done, son, and return my iPad, and I would come home. And incidentally, Angry Birds was their 52nd game. 52nd game. It was not their first game. It was their 52nd game. And again, when they developed Angry Birds, he went home, gave his iPad to the mother and said, we have developed this. So next day, the mother again patted his back as usual, but did not return the iPad back to him. So he said, that is the time I actually got a signal that we have actually hit upon something big. And that's you get clues from the environment. Be sensitive what those clues you are getting to. One absolutely last one. We all talk about failure. We all talk about, we dread failure. And that is why we don't become entrepreneurs. I happened to be in Silicon Valley in UC Berkeley, and there was this great speaker, promoter of an airline, who came. He promoted that airline, but virtually was fired from that airline. So in a crowd like this, people asked him, were you not afraid of failure? He said, yes, I was very afraid of failures. But then after having failed, I realized that it is one thing to get a pink slip from a desk, and the other thing to your failure being announced in 150 newspapers as headlines. He said, even if you fail in a grand way. So that's the message he gave. Well, I would like to wish all of you a very good entrepreneurial career. As Ajit said, don't be in it for making money if you have the passion. Money will come. Money is a byproduct of a passion, of an idea, which is executed beautifully well. Thank you very much. All the best.
And Dean Rangnekar, other dignitaries, faculty, students, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to say a couple of words about the Technology Entrepreneurship Program. So the need for such a program has already been highlighted by the previous speakers. And ISB has come up with this program after much thought and deliberation. So I'm sure that all the students enrolled in this program will find it to be extremely useful. About the program itself, it broadly aims to provide budding technology entrepreneurs with an understanding of the business side of innovation and to equip them with the skills needed to start and launch successful business ventures. So the program involves a set of online courses which are supplemented by a set of hands-on lab activities, design workshops, and a design challenge, which give the students an opportunity to apply the concepts that they have learned in the courses. And ISB will also support students interested in starting their own ventures by providing them with academic and industry mentorship, help them further refine their business plans, and also connect them with VC funds and incubators. The Technology Entrepreneurship Program is truly interdisciplinary. So it complements the engineering education with the business understanding needed to create and launch successful new ventures. And to do this, it draws upon a number of different management disciplines. So it has modules on marketing, modules on operations, entrepreneurship, innovation, to name a few. And it also draws upon the top faculty, both within ISB and across the world. So to give you a flavor, and the list is clearly not complete, we have Professor Srikumar Bhaskaran from the Cox School of Business. He was recently named as being one of the top 40 professors under the age of 40. We have Professor Abby Graham from the University of Utah. She is a Crawford Fellow, which is the highest honor award given in the area of innovation and new product development. We have Professor Arun Pereira, who heads the Center for Teaching, Learning, and Case Development at ISB. He teaches entrepreneurship and was voted as the Professor of the Year for elective courses by the ISB class of 2012 and 2013. So we have excellent faculty in the program. While the courses are delivered online, there are some important differences between this Technology Entrepreneurship Program and a typical MOOC, a massively open online course. For one, the students enrolled in the program have been selected based on their excellent academic performance. My congratulations to you. And moreover, although the courses are delivered online, they are complemented by a set of hands-on lab activities, design workshops, which take place at the students' home institutions. So as you go through the program, you do not do it in isolation. You are part of a larger community of friends, of colleagues, and you have access to the academic mentorship of your faculty. So to all the faculty at the participating colleges, we really need your help, your support, your active involvement for the program to be successful. And to all the students, you have access to the best resources. Make good use of them, and I hope that this will be the first step in a long and rewarding journey. Thank you.
Minister K.T. Ramarao, Shri H.K. Mittal, Dean Rangnekar, our very special guests, the students and faculty members from the Engineering Institution of the states of Telangana and Andhra, ladies and gentlemen. We are all assembled here to celebrate what will one day be remembered as an historic day, a watershed moment when a new wave started to sweep this region. We will look back, hopefully, 5-10 years from now and say it all started in Khemka Auditorium at the Indian School of Business on the 26th of July, 2014. Hopefully, this day will touch the lives of many of you personally and set you on a vibrant, exciting, fulfilling path of becoming an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is the ultimate value creator for society. He or she is the agent for transforming resources into products and services that the human race needs. He or she is the prime mover for converting an idea into impact. Society salutes the entrepreneur. So welcome to the club. We are thankful to you, KTR sir, for blessing this seminal occasion and for spending your Saturday morning with us. Let me assure you that your time here was well spent, and it has started something that will bring glory to your newborn state. You are known for your dynamism and have created electric expectations among the people. The Technology Entrepreneurship Program will be a small step towards meeting those expectations. This program is being made possible by the funding provided by the Institute of Electronic Governance. This program owes its existence to their faith in this program. So thank you to them. The news about this program has already traveled far and wide, and already the government of Punjab and others are talking about replicating it. Shri H.K. Mittal, we are delighted to have you and have your support, guidance and inspiration. You in many ways personify the entrepreneurship movement, the technology entrepreneurship movement in India, and we are greatly encouraged by your presence. Please keep up and grow your association with this program. I must also thank our partners, the Harvard Business Publishing, Microsoft and Google. The Harvard Business Publishing have agreed, I'm happy to announce, to provide valuable support by providing their articles and cases at no cost to this program. Microsoft will mentor the participants and students and provide software worth 25 lakhs of rupees free of cost to selected TEP startups. Google is providing support to the TEP technology platform with various Google technologies and also resources to selected TEP startups. And of course, I must acknowledge the rich contributions made to this program by the members of the advisory board, all the session partners, the press and the media. Closer home, our own faculty at the Indian School of Business and the team at the Munjal Institute of Manufacturing at ISB deserve a big round of applause for making this program happen. In particular, I should acknowledge the seminal, fundamental contribution made by Aruna Reddy and Amarnath Reddy. Aruna Reddy from the Indian School of Business and Amarnath Reddy from the AP Society, which is now being re-Christianed. Both of them are literally the father and mother of this program and have occupied the design and the heart and the brain of how this program is being rolled out. And last but not the least, I must thank the management, faculty, and students of the participating engineering colleges. They are the soul of this program. They are actually the chicken in this chicken curry. And we all will be looking at them for the success of this program. Good luck.